So I'm going to share my screen and let me know, you guys, like type in the chat if you can hear this video, okay? Because it's like, I know it's a little wonky.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with the crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. It takes guts to be a first follower. Stand out and ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first is done well. Now it's not a lone nut, and it's not two nuts. A tree is a crowd, and the crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers, because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. Over the next minute, you'll see the best who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they will be ridiculed for not joining. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a virgin of a shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
I am obsessed with that video. It is something that I saw when I went to University in Action with David Wood, and he explained this, like, leaders do go first, but the best thing that could ever happen, especially in network marketing, is you need that one spark, that one person to say, yes, I'm joining you. And you've got to be, what he said, duplicatable. It's got to be easy to follow, duplicatable. And that spark is what's going to ignite. And that third person, now you've got kind of more of a movement. You've got something to watch. And then people are going to flood in because it's not going to look so weird. It's not going to be like people are like, oh, everyone's doing it. I guess I'm just going to go. And you kind of see this. I don't know why I'm like paralleling this, but like at church when they say raise your hand, whatever, like it takes that first person, that leader, to raise their hand. And then like people don't feel so weird and they all like raise their hand, right? So it is critical. I love what he said. He's like, that leader, it wasn't about him. It was about how he made those first few people feel. And I don't know, like that, it's one of my favorite videos just because I think it's so silly, but it's so true. And in network marketing, you've got to be that brave person to go first, to be that lone nut, because you totally are. But then once that spark comes, the ignite, you know, it can ignite and start going like crazy. But it matters staying there and still working together, but that leader backing off almost and seeing what that duplication has done, and it just keeps going. So I love that, and I wanted to share. So yeah, Julie, do you want to share today?
Yeah, tell me what the name of that video was.
Okay, what you type in, you truly just type in like shirtless dancing guy, like leadership video. It's just like you can type it in and you'll kind of see like a guy on the grass. Yeah. But I can send it to you and then you can post it in the group.
I love it. I will. Totally. Okay, so I wanted to have candid conversations with Meredith today because I learned so much from her just through her passion and excitement about what she's been doing for so long. How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing this for 7 years.
And I think a lot of people don't even, people that are here don't know where you came from. Like why, so what's the before Meredith? Because I don't think people know that.
Yeah, sure. That's a really good question. So before I got started in this, actually, I had a previous experience with network marketing. We have a family member who's done network marketing for a very long time and introduced me to it with jewelry. And I don't wear jewelry. And I was a hairstylist. And so, I talk to people all the time. So it was like, well, but Meredith, you do talk to people every day. You could sell this easily. And that totally true. I can sell what I love. Absolutely. And it was definitely not shampoo and it was not jewelry. And so I just wasn't in love with sharing that. I did help though. I did help, and that's actually how I met. Well, Christina met me, apparently selling the jewelry. I do not remember doing that, but she told me. And because my mother-in-law did buy me my first box, and I didn't sell one item, and so I had to give it back to her because I had like 2 parties and no one bought anything. So I just was like, this isn't for me, and it feels weird and gross. And so that was my first experience. My husband had like a very long experience with it. But so we actually said no to network marketing for a very long time. We were introduced to it again when I was pregnant with Brinley, my second. Again, Derek's mom, and it was with a nutritional company. And because I was pregnant, I was super like, hey, what's in this stuff? And she didn't really know. And so I was doing my research, and I didn't actually know why soy was bad for you at the time, but I was just like, oh, soy, I don't know if that's good or bad. I just didn't eat it. I was like, this is not for me. And then at the exact same time, my girlfriend, who I lived with where I met my husband, she messaged me, who also had kids my kids' age. And she was like, hey, I think this would be amazing for you. I know you're so tired. And so she reached out to me multiple times. She was, because I posted on Facebook how tired I was all the time. I complained. That is what Facebook was for. It was for complaining about my life. And you guys know those people. I don't know if people do that anymore, but that's just what I did. And so she knew that about me. We didn't really have conversation back and forth, but she just was, hey, this will help you. And I said, okay, thanks. And probably like 6 months in, she enrolled one of my best friends. And so I messaged her and I said, give it to me straight. And my girlfriend was like, you need to buy this. She said, I used my birthday money and I wish I would have done it sooner. I feel so incredible. And so that's all I needed was that girl's validation, because I knew, like, and trusted her. Yes, there was a whole thread message from my other friend, but I didn't have that trust because we weren't besties,
Mm-hmm.
So that sealed the deal for me. And I was like, okay. And I'd already had my daughter at the time. She was 9 months old. And I strong-armed my husband to do it with me. And then and I had no intention of building the business at all. Like, to the point where Derek was like, you will not share this. And I was like, okay, won't share it. We're just going to do it and send our money back, or get our money back. And then the girl who enrolled me did say, hey, you could do one of 3 things. You could give me referrals. I love referrals. You could get a cash rebate and get your products paid for, or you could get residual income. Which one of the 3 do you want? And I said, well, I kind of need these products paid for because I really like them. And so she's like, okay, great. Who are 5 people that you could think of right now who could benefit from this? And I just said, like, my mom, my sister, and my best friend. I didn't have 5. And she's like, great, get me on the phone. And I was like, no, thank you. I was like, that's fine. I'll call them. Like, I don't need you. So I thought that was super weird. I understand now the validation of three-way calls, the purpose for it, but
it's weird. And like, or regular, people are like, what? No.
And she said, get me on the phone with them. And I was like, why? Like, they
Mm-hmm.
don't know you. So anyway, so I called all of those people, and my mom, I actually forced. My best friend, I paid for half of her box, because she, even though we're best friends, she was like, you're trying to make money off me. And I was like, I really am not. And I'll prove it to you by paying for half of your box. And if you fall in love with it, great. If you don't, then I'll get half my money back. You'll get half yours. She started with a 9-day system. My mom started with a 30-day. And that was that. And I went consultant. And then after that, probably a few weeks later, after my first month, I had 4 people over to my house. The girl who enrolled me came. She drove like 4 hours to come to my house. And we had 0 product to share. We didn't share a thing. We just showed the product. And we played this really old video called Are You Toxic? And so I saw that. Like, I saw how simple that was. She was like, okay, what are you getting? And I was like, oh, no, you guys don't need to buy anything. Like, it's fine. If you don't. And they're like, we came because we want to buy something. And I was like, okay, you can if you want. So then they all 3 signed up, but I had 2 others who couldn't come, and they enrolled that week too. So I enrolled 5 people that week on 30-day systems. And so they all doubled. And then after that, I couldn't believe how simple that was. And I was like, okay, I was trying to like make money selling baby beanies. I'll just do this. Like, it was just a no-brainer. So yeah.
Awesome. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Oh yeah. And actually so I'm an entrepreneur through and through. You can't So I was selling baby blankets, handmade beanies, blankets, baby clothes, tutus, all the things. And I had a booth at the birth and baby fair, and you have see pictures, and I had like my Isogenics like on the table too. I was like trying to sell it. It didn't work, but people would drink the hydrate.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I was trying everything.
Okay. So let's fast forward to like 1 star, right? You're like, hey, I want to treat this as a business. I'm like, where was that transition? Whatever star it was. I'm just kind of throwing it out.
I don't know if it was 1 star, because 1 star it took me a year and a half to get to executive. It took me a year and a half. I think when I hit executive, I kind of hit 1 star. So a year and a half to hit 1 star. I did hit 1 star golden circle. So that means that you're executive. So I think I hit it at the same time. After being executive for 2 weeks, fell out of it. I didn't understand why I should stay there. Nobody talked to me about that. Derek wasn't involved yet in the business. So I missed a lot of bonuses that I didn't know about, because he wasn't involved yet. And I'm ignorance on fire. I tell everyone about everything, and I'm excited, and I want to go to all the events and bring everyone with me. And the money just kind of followed. So I didn't really understand what I was missing, but I would say like 2 star is when, because I went to my very first, this is when Earn Your Wings, there wasn't an Earn Your Wings, but it was the very first 2 star trip that Kelly Dickerhuff put on. And I was like, so Isogenics, like I bled Isogenics even like a month in, like I would not shut up about it. But the money part, I would say it was probably 2 star, because I remember Kelly giving me my $100,000 check. It was hers. They used to make big checks. You'd get them and walk on stage. And she gave me hers at New Year's kickoff in Dallas. And I took a picture. I still have it on my phone. I took a picture with it. And she's like, you'll be on stage. And I was like, I don't believe you, but I'll take a picture with it for my vision board. And she's like, I want you to walk through the airport with that. And I was like, okay. And so like I had this huge check, and I'm walking, and everyone's stopping me, and I'm like, this isn't even mine. Like I didn't even earn it, but people treated me different, and I was like, I can do this. And so I had other girls actually on my team who also hit, they also hit 6 figures, take pictures with it and just have it on their vision board. But Derek joined me, I would say, like after middle 2-star. So I'd say like 2.5 years in, when he got serious about it, it was like, watch out, because he understood, like, you could triple your bonus, you can play in the pool. Like, that's when all of that kind of happened. So I don't know, 2-star, I would say I got serious. But I was always like serious about the product. So I didn't realize there was a difference. So I was enrolling everyone for the product. I didn't really even tell anyone about the business. I was like, if you like the product, maybe go share it. You remember that? And so, so we just like, I was a product like sharer. So then I created a lot of product shares versus this is a crazy viable business. And I don't think I like brought in a ton of business builders. There were just a lot of sharers, which is great. Like they all made money. We all made money. But once I kind of shifted after like 2.5-star, 3-star to like, hey, this is like a business, then things shifted completely for me.
So then what in your actions shifted after that mindset shifted?
Well, I just started telling the full story. So I didn't tell people, like I was too scared of what they would say. And I remember Susan Sly saying, or Lynn Hagedorn, someone saying, I have an obligation to share this with you. And this is up to you. Like I just want you to have the full picture so that you can decide for yourself. And so I just started sharing the full story at events, like at my launch parties. Before, I would never share that. I wouldn't share the comp plan ever. And I knew the comp plan so well, but I was like, no, it's because like I started for the product and I was like, but like I wouldn't have wanted to see that, like that would have pissed me off. So then I just was like tiptoeing instead of like, hey, here it is. Like, you want to make some money. And I honestly, at my launch party, if that girl who enrolled me would have shown that, I probably been like, what? Like I probably would have been excited because I'd already had the product in my body for like 2 months. So anyways, but yeah, so what did I do different? I just shared the opportunity more. And I got really loud about it. Like I was already really loud about the product on my wall, in person. Like people just knew me you guys, like you knew me as that, but
out by yourself.
What?
People know you as the crazy loud dancer out by yourself.
I'm the crazy nut. That's me. Like that's so typical of me, even in the family. But another thing that I did from early on, just being obsessed with the product. So the best and biggest thing that the girl who enrolled me did was she bought my event ticket to Celebration. So I had been using the product. I started in March and I went to Celebration in August. So she asked me probably, I'm not kidding, probably a month before the event. It was like, hey, if I get you a ticket, would you get your flight and I'll find you a floor to sleep on? And I was like, absolutely. Like I didn't even really, and I'd never left my babies alone ever. And so I was like, okay, I weaned my daughter. She was already ready to be weaned. And my best friend and I made a girls trip out of it. And so I flew and I was violently ill. I think this is like critical, you guys. I was so violently ill. I had lost a scary amount of weight. And my mom got off work, drove to take care of my kids. I was vomiting like for 3 days straight. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And I was like, Mom, I really still feel like I should go. Like my best friend's meeting me. Like I have to go. This girl got me the ticket. Like I just felt like this, like, oh, I feel bad. And maybe this is like a spiritual attack. And so she's like, just try to, she was like, okay, like you tell me, I'll take you to the airport. So I like remember crawling on the floor and packing my bags and my mom had to dress me. It was that bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I have photos of what I looked like. It was not good. Anyways. So, my mom drove me to the airport and it took me 5 hours to eat one banana. And the second I got off the airplane, I was fine. The second.
That's weird.
Like I'm like, my best friend, like fine. Like nothing, like it was so bizarre. And so, fine enough to like go and have the 80s party with Isogenics people. Like, so anyways, I went to that first event. Best thing it ever did to me. Not only did it build belief more into the product, I mean, I think Isogenics was launched. So like I got to meet Jack Canfield and Dr. John Gray. Like just, it was, oh my gosh. And then seeing these people on stage, I was like, and then, but I met Kelly and Tyler, and Kelly was like sitting next to me and she's like, those are just average people up there. And I was like, mm-hmm. And then she got up to get up there, and I'm like, she's a hairstylist. I'm a hairstylist. Like she's got like nobody, they're not better than me. And I heard certain people speak that I'm like, if they could do this, like I could do this. So it just made it, going to those events, you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. They're nobody special, which sounds mean, but it's really true. And so after that, every single event in my sphere I got to, and I got people to. So I lived in the Central Coast. I lived 3 to 4 hours away from LA. I piled up my car, drove to LA multiple times with new people every time. I'd always buy them dinner, and I didn't have the money to buy them dinner, but I invested in that. And I invested in those tickets. I bought their tickets for the event, and we went to Fresno, we went to Clovis, and then multiple times. And then I had my own, and I spent a lot of money on my own event, and like no one came. So I just kind of like went crazy because I just got that belief. It was that event, Celebration 2012, that like I was done. And that's why I'm like so about getting to events.
Yeah. So teach us how to build towards events right now and bring us back to that.
Okay. So good. And I know I was telling you this, that like in the beginning, I was such an event promoter, and anything that I do, I tell people like, that's who I am in my nature. So I'm going to a new gym right now, and I'm trying to invite everyone I can to get to the gym with me because I like these people and I want to spend more time with these people. So when you are building towards an event, invite them like they're missing out on the most amazing party, depending on their personality. So for me, I'm a yellow on the color code. So you can take the color code test. You can figure out people's personality very easily, but I'm using the color code as an indicator. So yellows love fun. They love parties. They love to meet people. They love, new fun things, like kind of ADHD a little bit. And they love meeting people and just like connecting. So that's like a yellow. So great. Now you have a red. A red loves recognition. A red loves, goal setting. So like they want to know what they need to do to get to the X, Y, and Z. How do I need to get on stage? Or how do I need to make this much money? Or like just type A, like goal oriented. They may not want recognition, but they know that they need a path to run on. You're going to get that at the event. You're going to meet the people, rub shoulders with the people who've done those things. You can pick their brain, like that kind of thing. And then blues are more like they're really relational. So they want to have like one-on-one conversation, or like you could run a challenge and say, hey, like if you hit consultant manager, whatever you want the thing to be, I will take you on a shopping spree, just you and me, or we can go out to dinner, just you and me, because like or you can meet Kelly Dickerhoof and go to dinner with her. Like they're relational. They want that intimate time. Or like, hey, we're all getting an Airbnb and it's going to be really fun and we're going to go to see corporate, that kind of thing. That could go for anyone, but a white, and everyone's a lot of multiple colors, so you kind of need to know what your main one is, but a white is somebody who's like, I kind of like to consider an owl. Their animal's an owl, where they get scared away if they feel like you're forcing them into something, they will run away. So a white, you'll say, hey, listen, you're going to get all the information you need. You can sit in the back of the room. No one needs to talk to you. You can just take your own notes. You'll make your own decision. Maybe this is for you. Maybe it's not. But why don't you go check it out? See, duck in, duck out. You're done. Like that kind of situation. You can talk to the nutritionist. There's a whole booth. You can talk to the millionaire, like one-on-one. You can get the CDs if you need to, whatever they need for it's like knowledge is power for them. They want all the facts. And they don't necessarily believe you. Like they're like, I know what you used to do. You're not so special. But the other people, they'll take notes. So I just, when I was promoting events, I would always like incentivize. So, hey, and I learned this from Jen Byer way back when. If you go consultant, you automatically get a celebration ticket or the next event ticket from me if you buy your flight. So something has to be set in stone. So like, hey, just so you know, you've got this on the table, and I will actually buy it for you and transfer it, but you have to buy your flight or have your hotel booked, whatever, so that there is like that, the skin in the game. So there's that. And then, so they always know that they can get an event ticket from me. And I have totally done things wrong, and I have bought way too many things and like lost a lot of money. So I just, be cautious. I would, in Vegas, I bought 4 hotel rooms, and I was like, hey, if you get to this event, buy your own ticket, buy your own flight, you will have a hotel room. So I filled 4 hotel rooms. Now, I probably should have qualified who was in those hotel rooms because it's Vegas. But anyways, like it was fine. Like I still made money off of that. And what Eric Worre, the guru of network marketing, says is that for each person you get to a core 4 or like a big company event, you make $1,000 off of that year. So if you want to make $50,000, get 50 people to a corporate event in a year. And then the numbers work like clockwork. Like it's not, I'm not even kidding you. Like those numbers, it works. I think Isagenix is probably a little bit more. It's probably about $2,000 a head. But so I would invest in this person $100 or $200. Like that's nothing to make $1,000 that year from their efforts. So and Eric Worre says that event promoting is one of the highest paid skills, almost like with following up. And you've got to follow up to these events. So yeah. Does that help?
So we have November 2nd is a Super Saturday.
Yes.
And then we have New Year's kickoff.
I feel like I need to double check that, but yes.
Is there any other events that we can be promoting?
So, I mean, like there are the core 4. So it's ISAU, University in Action, New Year's Kickoff, and then Celebration. And you can see that in isagenixevents.com. And you can see like there's going to be like the associate events, which I can't find right now. But so you can always, and this is what I do, is on the associate run events, you kind of want to weed through. I always want to look for Super Saturdays, because that, not like just little tiny events, but Super Saturdays. Find people that you know in those states and tell them to go, and you'll buy their ticket. So I've done that multiple times. I have a few people. So in Maine, we got some team members in Maine to go to a local event. We got one of our people in Montana. I was like, hey, there's my friend is a millionaire. She's going to be there. I'd love for you to go. I'll get your event ticket. So you are not just building your local team. Local team's amazing. It's so important. But you want to be thinking outside of the box, and who do you know and where? Oh, I got my girl in the UK to go to an event near her. So like you just need to be looking in all of these areas. In Mexico, I had a team in Mexico. So you just want to be, this is your multi-million-dollar global business. If you want it to be, it doesn't have to be. And so I want to treat it that way. So I'm like, okay, what's on the books? Where do I know? Who do I know here? Okay, my Denver team needs to go there, whatever. So, yeah. And like, you can incentivize them. Like, if you get this many people to go, I'll give you X, Y, and Z. And the biggest thing right now that like Michael Klaus, so if you don't know who he is, he's like used to be a network marketing trainer. And now he's in Isagenix because he was like, I'm going to get out of that and making money there and join this company, which is huge. So he's in Isagenix. And he said what he's scared of for New Year's kickoff, of how big it's going to be for the people. His example was, okay, so like I got Mary in the room, and Mary's there and Mary's excited. But Mary's thinking, oh, shoot, I should have invited these people. Those are the people that are going to keep us up at night. New Year's kickoff is going to be such a transformational event for everyone. Right now, in this moment, you should be either planting seeds or telling people, hey, I need you to meet me there. We're going to go Arizona in San Diego. Like, Arizona's so close. I mean, I used to live near the Bay Area, and I drove to Arizona multiple times to bring people to corporate, to show them corporate. But so there's like no excuse, like just drive or load up your car, whatever you need to do. But just to go and promote that event now so that they get there on the 20th in January. But yes, ICU is going to be here and get people in the room. It's like, they have no excuse. Try to help remove any excuse. You know, like, oh, what do you need? Childcare? Okay, let me see who I have as a babysitter. Maybe my husband will do it. Like, you know, something like that. Like, try to figure out some things. I'll buy you lunch. I'll pay for your ticket.
ICU is going to be in San Diego?
Oh, sorry. I mean, Super Saturday.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry about it. Yeah. No, ICU is, so we have, it's October something, and I think it's in Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah.
I think it's this weekend. And then, I think so. Yeah, but Trudy Maples is going to be on the November 2nd one. I need to double check that date. And then, yeah, so I mean, like, literally try to fill a car up, shove people in there. And you can use these words. I love, Emily Vavra says it too. It's like, if I got you an event ticket to this event, would you come with me? I truly believe that this is going to be something that's going to align with you so well. Like, you are such an incredible person that people love to follow. You are inspirational, you're driven, you're motivated, and you love people. You love to serve people. I just know you'll fit right in. You've got to come with me. If I knew who the trainers were, like with one of my LA events, it was Peter Greenlaw, who like I was in love with. He's a scientist guy. And I had his book and everything. I'm like, you guys, the scientist is going to be there. You've got to meet him. Oh my gosh, he's going to talk about telomeres. And like, I just got so excited. They're like, okay. And then I'm like, you can meet Lori Harder. You can take photos with her. Like, yeah. And so I know someone who enrolled with me. He's like, I don't even know what I bought, but you were just so excited. Like, oh, okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I think that wraps up kind of candid conversations. I think we should keep going with this. So maybe message, I don't know if you want to like comment or whatever, even on the recording as we post it in the group. If you can comment and let us know maybe things that you want to hear from Meredith, that would be super helpful, because she's a wealth of knowledge that I just keep learning from. And I know you're looking at me like, what? But seriously, I learn a lot from just like, I'm like a face-to-face, like, hey, wait, what do I need to do? Like, tell me exactly what I need to do. And I think there's a lot of other people out there like me. And so this is why I kind of wanted to like push it this direction. So we're going to go into our segment of leading leaders. Is that what we're calling it?
Yes. And I'll just stop the recording. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, is that okay, Tasha? You want me to stop the recording? Okay.